I think it's worth knowing that Rusty Bowers, again, a witness you'll hear from live tomorrow, he is, in one particular and important way, he is everything that Bill Barr and Mike Pence and all these other supposed heroes of this story are not. However much people like Attorney General Bill Barr or Vice President Pence have been lauded over the course of this investigation, because at the very, very end, when it came down to it in the final accounting, they didn't ultimately go along with the last worst thing that Trump asked them to do. However much they are being lauded for not being as bad as Trump and not being willing to do everything he wanted. One thing that neither of those men did in the moment, not Bill Barr, not Vice President Pence, not Trump lawyer Eric Hirschman, not Pence lawyer Greg Jacob, not Trump campaign manager Bill Stepien, not any of these guys we have heard from thus far. They're all taking their bows now for not putting on a Viking hat and smashing windows with the rest of the mob on January 6th, and good for them. But one thing that none of them did in the moment was tell us, tell the public, what was happening in the White House that they were so disturbed about. None of them was willing to sound the alarm in the moment to say, hey, the president is trying to get people to do something illegal here, and we're worried it's going to get people killed on January 6th. None of them went to the public with their concerns in real time. But you know who did do that in real time? The Arizona very conservative Republican Speaker of the House, Rusty Bowers, who is going to testify tomorrow. Again, I have no idea what he will be like as a witness or what he will testify to. But the historical record will show that he actually got this part of it right when almost nobody else did. As he was getting calls from President Trump himself and from Rudy Giuliani and from all these other people in the president's orbit, Rusty Bowers not only didn't go along with their demands that he should throw out Arizona's election results, he, kind of alone among all these guys, is the one who put out a press release telling everybody that actually that's what they were pressuring him to do. They were pressuring him to overturn the state's election results, and that's wrong, and he needed everybody to know it in the moment. Look at this document. This is what you show St. Peter at the pearly gates. This is your hall pass for up there at the end of your life as a public official if your name is Rusty Bowers. See the date on it? That's a very important date, December 4th, 2020, for immediate release. Arizona House Speaker Rusty Bowers today made the following statement, quote, "This week, Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, and others representing President Donald Trump came to Arizona with a breathtaking request that the Arizona legislature overturn the certified results of last month's election and deliver the state's electoral college votes to President Trump. The rule of law forbids us to do that. Mr. Giuliani and Ms. Ellis made their case here at least twice. On Monday at an unofficial public gathering hosted by a small group of legislators, and again on Tuesday during a closed-door meeting at the state capitol with Republican leaders from both chambers of the legislature. Both times, the Trump team made claims that the election was tainted by fraud, but presented only theories, not proof." Again, keep in mind what's going on here, right? This is the one dog that barked. He is alerting the public to the fact that there's been an unofficial gathering between Republican legislators and people from the Trump campaign. And then following that, a closed-door meeting between Republican leaders in the state legislature and people from the Trump campaign. And this guy, the Republican House Speaker, says, hey, this might be happening behind closed doors, but the public needs to know about this. I'm going public. I'm going to tell the public what's going on here, and also that I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to go along with it. He says, quote, "Even if such evidence existed, the Arizona legislature simply couldn't do what is being asked. Under Arizona law, presidential electors must vote for the winners of the popular vote. Nothing in the U.S. Constitution or the decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court even suggests that the Arizona legislature could retroactively appoint different electors who would cast their ballots for different candidates. The law does not authorize the legislature to reverse the results of the election. As a conservative Republican, I don't like the results of the presidential election. I voted for President Trump. I worked hard to reelect him, but I cannot and will not entertain a suggestion that we violate the law to change the outcome of a certified election. I and my fellow legislators swore an oath to support the U.S. Constitution and the laws of the state of Arizona. It would violate that oath, the basic principles of Republican government, and the rule of law if we attempted to nullify the people's vote based on unsupported theories of fraud. Arizona voters choose who wins, and our system requires that their choice be respected." He then concludes with this. 40 years ago next month, President Ronald Reagan reminded us that while the orderly transfer of authority is a commonplace occurrence for Americans, quote, in the eyes of many in the world, this every 4-year ceremony we accept as normal is nothing less than a miracle. Rusty Bowers concludes, quote, now Americans are being reminded once again never to take for granted what President Reagan correctly described as the continuity which is the bulwark of our republic. Again, look at the date on that, December 4th, 2020. That's more than a month before the January 6th attack. The Republican House Speaker in Arizona saying, yeah, I wanted Trump to win. I voted for Trump. But here he is, sounding the alarm, telling the public that what the Trump campaign was asking for behind closed doors was blatantly illegal. He went to the public. He said, this is breathtaking. That's the word he used, a breathtaking request, telling the public no way would he do it, and correctly saying that what Trump was asking for, and the fact that he was asking for it, would be the end of the peaceful transition of power in our country. Rusty Bowers was right. And almost no one else in Republican politics was willing to tell that truth to the public about it at that point. All these people who were sort of getting it right in retrospect, right? He got it right in the moment.